Mitochondria BLAC DOPA mean that the tree of life is the architecture of the brain. Let me explain my findings. Psalm 37:12-13. 12. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them. 13. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. The etheric body, ether body, a name given by neo-theosophy to a vital body or subtle body, propounded in esoteric philosophies as the first or lowest layer in the human energy field or aura. It is said to be in immediate contact with the physical body, to sustain it and connect it with higher bodies. Astral body is a subtle body posited by many philosophers, intermediate between the intelligent soul and the mental body composed of a subtle material. The concept ultimately derives from the philosophy of Plato. It is related to an astral plane which consists of the planetary heavens of astrology. The brain is like a committee of experts. All the parts of the brain work together, but each part has its own special properties. The brain can be divided into three basic units: the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The hindbrain includes the upper part of the spinal cord, the brainstem, and a wrinkled ball of tissue called the cerebellum. The hindbrain controls the body's vital functions such as respiration and heart rate. The cerebellum coordinates movement and is involved in learned rote movements. When you play the piano or hit a tennis ball, you are activating the cerebellum. The uppermost part of the brainstem is the midbrain, which controls some reflex actions and is part of the circuit involved in the control of eye movements and other voluntary movements. The forebrain is the largest and most highly developed part of the human brain. It consists primarily of the cerebrum and the structures hidden beneath it. See the inner brain. The brain is the most complex part of the human body. This 3-pound organ is the seat of intelligence, interpreter of the senses, initiator of body movement, and controller of behavior. Lying in its bony shell and washed by protective fluid, the brain is the source of all the qualities that define our humanity. The brain is the crown jewel of the human body. There are non-Trinitarian views that question the aspect of personal pre-existence, the aspect of divinity, or both. Original research, music tuned to 440 Hz versus 432 Hz, and the health effects. A double-blind crossover pilot study by author Diletta Calamasi, Gianpaolo Pomponi. In an article by the Schiller Institute, it was stated that the most scientifically correct tuning is 432 Hz. This article explains the mathematical calculations by which this conclusion was arrived at, referring to historical figures such as Leonardo da Vinci, Johannes Kepler, and Leonardo Pisano, known as Fibonacci. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, shows us in real time that the terrestrial frequency is about 8 Hz Schumann resonance. This would therefore be in mathematical relation with 432 Hz. Since 8 Hz is a submultiple of 432 Hz for the ratio between frequency and octave music. What triggers melanin production? Ultraviolet radiation as a regulator of melanogenesis 432 terahertz. God is light. A major extrinsic regulator of melanogenesis is ultraviolet radiation UVR, including UVA and UVB light. This is the main stimulus for melanin production, leading to induced pigmentation of the skin, or tanning of the skin. Just as melanin protects the skin from photo damage, it also protects the eye. Melanin is concentrated in the iris and choroid, and those with gray, blue, and green eye colors as well as albinos have more sun-related ocular issues. The uvea is the pigmented middle layer of the eyeball. It has 3 segments: the iris, the ciliary body, and the choroid. Resonance, frequencies, and vibrations. Geomagnetic fields and magnetic field are associated with the Earth. It is primarily dipolar, that is, it has 2 poles, these being the north and south magnetic poles, on the Earth's surface. Away from the surface, the dipole becomes distorted. In the 1830s, the German mathematician and astronomer Carl Friedrich Gauss studied the Earth's magnetic field and concluded that the principal dipolar component had its origin inside the Earth instead of outside. He demonstrated that the dipolar component was a decreasing function inversely proportional to the square of the Earth's radius, a conclusion that led scientists to speculate on the origin of the Earth's magnetic field in terms of ferromagnetism, as in a gigantic bar magnet, various rotation theories, and various dynamo theories. Ferromagnetism and rotation theories generally are discredited. Ferromagnetism, because the Curie point, the temperature at which ferromagnetism is destroyed, is reached only 20 or so kilometers, about 12 miles beneath the surface, and rotation theories, because apparently no fundamental relation exists between mass and motion, and an associated magnetic field. Most geomagneticians concern themselves with various dynamo theories, whereby a source of energy in the core of the Earth causes a self-sustaining magnetic field. The Earth's steady magnetic field is produced by many sources, both above and below the planet's surface. The initial source theory, dynamo theory, geophysical theory that explains the origin of Earth's main magnetic field in terms of a self-exciting or self-sustaining dynamo. In this dynamo mechanism, fluid motion in Earth's outer core moves conducting material, liquid iron, across an already existing weak magnetic field and generates an electric current. Heat from radioactive decay in the core is thought to induce the convective motion. The electric current, in turn, produces a magnetic field that also interacts with the fluid motion to create a secondary magnetic field. Together, the two fields are stronger than the original and lie essentially along the axis of Earth's rotation. In the discussion that follows, each of these sources is considered, and the respective cause is explained. The Earth's magnetic field is subject to variation on all timescales. Each of the major sources of the so-called steady field undergoes changes that produce transient variations, or disturbances. The main field has two major disturbances: quasi-periodic reversals and secular variation. The ionospheric dynamo is perturbed by seasonal and solar cycle changes, as well as by solar and lunar tidal effects. The ring current responds to the solar wind, the ionized atmosphere of the sun that expands outward into space and carries with it the solar magnetic field, growing in strength when appropriate solar wind conditions exist. Associated with the growth of the ring current is a second phenomenon, the magnetospheric substorm, which is most clearly seen in the aurora borealis. An entirely different type of magnetic variation is caused by magnetohydrodynamic (MHD) waves. These waves are sinusoidal variations in the electric and magnetic fields that are coupled to changes in particle density. They are the means by which information about changes in electric currents is transmitted, both within the Earth's core and in its surrounding environment of charged particles. Geometry is the patterns of frequencies. Let me explain. Baryon acoustic oscillations, BAOs. There are these sound waves from the nascent universe, called baryon acoustic oscillations, BAOs, which left their imprint on the cosmos by influencing galaxy distribution. Researchers have explored this imprint back to when the universe was 3 billion years old, or roughly 20% of its current age of 13.8 billion years. For most of its first half-million years, the universe looked extremely different than it does today. Instead of being speckled with stars and galaxies, the cosmos was filled with a sea of plasma, charged particles, that formed a dense, almost uniform fluid. In the first few 100,000 years after our universe was born, a primordial hum ripped through a plasma of superheated particles. Scientists are listening in with the hope of gaining new insights about the mysterious force known as dark energy. Before stars or planets, before black holes and white dwarfs, before even atoms or rays of light, the universe reverberated with something surprising: sound. This primordial hum moved at more than half the speed of light through a superheated plasma of baryons, photons, and dark matter. Echoes of the universe creation, BAOs arose in the early universe, and how astronomers can study the faint imprint they made on galaxy distribution to probe dark energy's effects over time. In the beginning, the cosmos was filled with a hot, dense fluid called plasma. Tiny variations in density excited sound waves that rippled through the fluid. When the universe was about 400,000 years old, the waves froze where they were. Slightly more galaxies formed along the ripples. These frozen ripples stretched as the universe expanded, increasing the distance between galaxies. Astronomers can study this preferred distance between galaxies in different cosmic ages to understand the expansion history of the universe. Copyright C and BLAC Music and Media LLC 2025.